My name is Nancy Brinker. In 1980, I lost my sister Susie to breast cancer. She was only 36 and the mother of 2. Before she died, I promised her that I wouldn't stop until a cure was found. That promise became Susan G. Komen for the Cure. 30 years ago, things were very different. Few women got mammograms, and some weren't even told they had the disease. And too many kept their illness a secret because they felt ashamed. But just a generation later, we've made incredible progress. We've helped reduce death rates by more than 30%. And today, we're on the cusp of breakthroughs that will lead to cures. The support we've received from our Northwest Ohio affiliate in Toledo has been an integral part of this success. I wish I could be with you as you celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Northwest Ohio Race for the Cure. But I've done the next best thing. I've asked Chris Peterson, along with Karen and Mark Ridenauer, to share Komen Northwest Ohio's story and the impact of your very important local Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure event. Thank you to Heitman Steel, KeyBank, ProMedica, Savage & Associates, and The Blade for your presenting sponsor support, and to the Northwest Ohio Ford dealers who step up every year, as well as WTOL, who continues to make Komen a community service campaign priority. My appreciation to all of the sponsors and friends who make this local race such a great success. Thank you.
In September of 2012, more than 20,000 people filled the streets of downtown Toledo. Runners, walkers, volunteers, and supporters, all looking to make a difference. And they did, raising more than $1 million to fight breast cancer in Northwest Ohio. But to truly appreciate the participation and money raised in our most recent race, you have to look back 20 years to the very first Komen race in June of 1994. An all-female race held at Franklin Park Mall. Karen Ridenauer had never heard of the Race for the Cure, but was asked to be on the committee in charge of volunteers.
So we had no idea how many people we would have. We thought we'd be thrilled if we could get several hundred people. We ended up with almost 600 people that ran the first race.
These are the only pictures we have from that first race, which raised $12,000 and started what would become the largest participatory event in Northwest Ohio.
So it really was a very emotional day, and then at the end of the race, when we had our little ceremony and everything, to see the cohesiveness of the women and that bond, it was very powerful.
Soon after that race, the committee chair came to me and asked would I be willing to be the honorary chairperson for the Race for the Cure, and I was thrilled because I had been involved in the Race for the Cure at my previous station in Pennsylvania, and I knew what a wonderful event it was. So in 1995, WTOL agreed to sponsor the race, and I became the honorary chairperson, and we have stuck with it ever since. There were some other big changes to the race in 1995. It moved to downtown Toledo, and men were actually invited to walk and run in this one. Attendance grew from 600 to 1,300 participants, and we raised even more money to fight breast cancer. That year, a small group of women wore pink caps to show that they were breast cancer survivors. And among them was a young mother named Karen Ridenauer. Yep, just 1 year after she helped organize that very first race, Karen had become the 1 in 8 women diagnosed with breast cancer.
The second year, I was walking bald and dealing with my own situation. It was humbling. It was wonderful to see people that really, really cheered you on and wanted the best for you.
Karen's story exemplified that breast cancer can happen to anyone, and to put a special focus on breast cancer survivors, we started the Survivor Breakfast. In 1995, about 50 breast cancer survivors gathered at the Franklin Park Mall the Saturday before the race. These days, some 600 breast cancer survivors come together each year at the Pinnacle in Maumee, where longtime survivors give hope to those newly diagnosed.
Actually, it's very emotional for me because I look around and I see all these people that have been through it and survived it, and so I say, okay, there's hope for me. Okay, I can do this too. If they can do it, I can do it.
It's your own little fraternity in some regards, you know, and you don't want somebody to join, but you welcome them when they come.
The Northwest Ohio Race for the Cure doubled in size in 1996 and again in '97 to nearly 5,000 participants. Word was spreading about this remarkable event to raise money and awareness for breast cancer. Well, that year I met an amazing woman named Mary Greeno, a breast cancer survivor who had actually started a support group of quilters. I asked Mary if her group could make a quilt to raffle at the race. That's how the Promise Quilters were born.
Will you help us fight breast cancer? We have raffle tickets on this lovely quilt today.
Each year, the group made an exquisite original quilt and sold tickets for $1 apiece at fairs and festivals. Those dollars added up, and over the 13-year tradition, the Promise Quilters raised more than $250,000 for Northwest Ohio Komen. By 1999, 8,300 participants raised $200,000, and the race had grown to a point where it couldn't just be handled by a group of volunteers. The National Komen office wanted us to establish a formal affiliate chapter with a board of directors to better track the money and services being offered. And with his business savvy as Executive Vice President and CFO of Heitman Steel, and because of his personal commitment to fight breast cancer, there really was no better choice to lead that effort than Mark Reidenauer.
And of course I couldn't say no with Karen's history, so I was happy to do it. I mean, I did tell them, I said, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. And so I became the first president. The affiliate is now 24 counties in Northwest Ohio and Monroe, Michigan. And that's a big area. I mean, I think there's probably 1.8 million people in there. And I think I read that somewhere, I think it's a couple years old now, but almost 4,000 people were diagnosed with breast cancer in our affiliate area. That's a lot of people.
In 2003, the 10-year anniversary Race for the Cure, 12,000 participants raised $670,000. In celebration of the anniversary, a gala event featuring breast cancer survivor Olivia Newton-John increased awareness and resources, allowing the local affiliate to distribute nearly $350,000 in grants in 1 year. The 2010 Race for the Cure hit a big milestone, raising $1 million for the first time, and that meant we were able to give $700,000 to programs that help save lives in Northwest Ohio. People always ask me, where does the money go? And I'm so proud to say that 75% of the money raised stays right here in Northwest Ohio to help women in our community. And the other 25% goes directly to research projects to help find a cure for breast cancer.
I mean, we've raised, almost $11 million in this community, and a little over 8 of it has stayed right here. That can do a lot of good work for a lot of people that need it. And I think we should, all of us that have been involved with Komen should be very proud of that.
Over the years, the majority of our grant money has gone to help pay for mammograms for women who are uninsured or underinsured. And this is not someone else. These are your friends and neighbors that are being helped. You may not even realize someone you know is being helped by Komen dollars. Women like Kathy Villarreal, whose family had no insurance when she found a lump in her breast.
They wanted me to do another mammogram, so I did another one, followed up with an ultrasound, and then a core biopsy. And all 4 of those were all covered through the Komen grant.
I believe that God had his hand definitely put us in the right path with the right people at the right time and when we really needed it. And I believe that 100% of my heart, and we all do.
Everyone in this day and age is worried about big homes, fancy cars, and I just was thought I'm not going to be able to raise my children, and that really hit home with me. And I just cried all night long, and I'm just very blessed that I've been given a chance that I can raise my family.
Brittany Thomas Learning Center, this is Miss Ingrid. How can I help you?
In 2012, the Race for the Cure was named in celebration of Ingrid Bias, another woman who turned to Komen when she found a lump and ended up having breast cancer in both breasts. Now she makes it her mission to educate other women, especially women of color, about breast cancer.
I mean, if I can be an inspiration and somebody says, you know what, with that bad cancer she had, she made it, I can make it too. Yeah, that's a great thing.
In addition to mammograms and diagnostic services, Komen Funds have supported aquatherapy classes for women so they can get their bodies moving again after surgery, and educational efforts like the Check It Out program that goes into high schools to teach junior and senior girls about breast cancer and how to do a self-breast exam. Last year, a national grant from Key Bank allowed the Northwest Ohio affiliate to hold our first annual Breast Health Summit and deliver training to 38 Komen community health advisors. The Komen impact is very real and changing lives in our community. In the last few years, Komen grants have delivered more than 25,000 breast health services to the uninsured and underinsured. More than 7,000 breast exams and mammograms have been performed, resulting in 101 early-stage life-saving diagnoses for breast cancer. But the demand far outpaces the resources available to support life-saving grants. In 2013, we received $1.6 million in grant requests and were able to fund only 700,000 of them. That's why we need your help. Our goal is simple: to fund all viable breast health grant requests, because that's how we save lives. And if you want to see who we're helping, join us for the Race for the Cure and look around you. I saw a woman in a pink shirt and a pink visor. She was a few blocks down the road, and I sat and I watched, and she was the first survivor I had seen coming across the finish line. And she got about a block and a half away from the finish line. And on the side of the road, a man who was there pushed a little girl who was about 3 years old into the road. And she took her mom's hand, and they finished the race together. And right there in that moment, I knew that's why we're here, so that that little girl doesn't have to worry about breast cancer, and so that little girl doesn't have to grow up without a mom.
It's important to be here to support my sister Janet Roberts, who's a cancer survivor.
We are all survivors, and we're going to continue to be survivors.
You see all those people and it's so emotional. It's almost like overwhelming. It brings the tears of joy and happiness.
This is the least I can do. I can't run, I can't walk, but I can pass out lollipops.
Thank you for being a partner in our quest. Together, we're making a difference. We race here, we give back here, we save lives here. And this year, we celebrate 20 years of service here.
We need to find a cure. In our lifetime, we need to find a cure.